Been a shot to been locked in with my cotters. Now I got them raving how I'm big on lines. Hello, de nata. Sheesh. Oh, God, I'm a dog, bro. Need a clergy.
A very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the L.A. Chargers taking on the Minnesota Vikings. 2 weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Going to begin the drive here with Madison. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down. But you talk about the defense for these Chargers. And this unit, very tough to throw against, currently second best in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. Derwin James with a pick, and he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. Now the 7-year veteran, Austin Eckler, down to the 42, second down.
Hey, if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. From the 42-yard line, here's second down and 7. It's Eckler again. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down L.A.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Running on first down, Eckler. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple, down to the 15-yard line. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll try the air now with Herbert. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
And here you're down in the red zone. You need to be smart, not force anything. So that's a wise decision to just get rid of the football.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. A shotgun snap for Herbert. Touchdown! Keenan Allen, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Chargers use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Well, Charles, here in their opening series, they said they had certain plays scripted for certain players. That looked like a well-designed play to get one of their top targets involved.
Yeah, let's face it, Brandon. A player of his talent is a problem for any opponent to defend, and we saw it right there. They tried to deny an open lane to him. He still outplayed the coverage and scored the early touchdown. Good luck trying to figure out how to defend him as this game moves on.
And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee. Over at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2? Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Derwin James with a pick.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
Herbert will give this one to Eckler. Down to about the 45. You look at this defense for the Vikings. They come into this one ranked number 5 in the NFL against the run.
Numbers don't tell you everything, but they do paint a pretty good picture. We're talking about 2 top 5 units going at each other. One in running the ball, one in stopping the run. I think this is going to be a whole lot of fun myself.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down.
Well, it's almost as if they didn't leave the field after their first drive. They picked right up where they left off. Another good throw there. And this offense, humming here in the early going.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Quick throw here to Johnston. Touchdown, Chargers. Quentin Johnston with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Chargers have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And it's now 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. Oh, good return up past the 30. Still going. And he finally goes out of bounds, so he couldn't take it the distance, but all the way inside the 15.
And that's the type of return that puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the defense now. They've got to go out on the field almost like it's a sudden change, almost like it's a turnover. They've got to go out there and try and stop them. But, boy, what a tough spot they're in.
He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. They overload him that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Meanwhile, Cousins' throw complete to Rager. And now they'll stop play here, at least momentarily. A member of the Vikings in some discomfort after that last play. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Cousins. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Jalen Nailor laying himself out in the end zone. And the Vikings have cut it back within a score. Extra point forthcoming. And that one makes it 14-7. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. From his end zone, here's Darius Davis. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
The Charger drive about to get going. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Justin Herbert looking to throw on 2nd down. It's Williams on the catch. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Herbert now. And that is incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
A 4th down, so the Chargers trot out J.K. Scott. K.J. Osborne deep for Minnesota. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And it's taken in at the 9. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
From the 24 now, here's 2nd down and 7.
Let's go.
Another carry now for Madison. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on 1st down quickly negated. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. On 3rd down, Cousins. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Davis now to return it. A 45-yard punt for there on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Hey, Ram. 21. Hey, Ray.
Now movement up front. I think they're going to get one of the Charger linemen. Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
The false start backs them up 5. 1st and 15. A give. Eckler running to the right. The ball comes out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down. Up the middle with Eckler. And he'll make it only to the 43, a gain of 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here. Third and 2, Herbert. Throws left side, complete to Keenan Allen. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Play action this time for Justin Herbert. He's airing it out for Williams. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, the first two drives yielded touchdowns, so there's no reason for them to feel like they have to pull back on the reins. They pushed it downfield, looking for another one right there. Didn't get it, but we know they're going to continue to be bold.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. 41 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
First down, and they stick with Eckler. There he goes left side. Touchdown, LA. Austin Eckler, his 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chargers have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Well, what a first half he's had running the football. Another terrific run there, and this one finds the end zone.
Well, we know he's a guy who's capable of coming up with big plays in the running game, and his offensive line knows it as well. That keeps them motivated, looking for those extra blocks to give him room to run downfield.
Extra point up and good by Dicker, and it's now 21-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Hey, we're good.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goal. And the 3rd interception thrown by Cousins. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Chargers will take over possession here up at the 44. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at their own 44.
Hey, go Lion. 5-9. Ready?
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And he wisely will throw that one away.
One thing you always worry about when he breaks the pocket is he going to take off with it? That time, the pressure was starting to close in, and he's just got to throw this one away.
380.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Baylor Tiger. Ready.
Here's Herbert. His throw incomplete.
Well, they approach this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. Pass out left finds Johnston. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Eckler now between the tackles. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. 2nd down. From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6.
Let's go. Home is right. Set.
Back to throw here, Herbert. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Lewis Cine. And the Vikings will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. Following the interception, Cousins. And that's complete to K.J. Osborne. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They were starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll go Madison up the middle. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. So from the 37, here's 2nd and 9. To throw, Cousins. Throw caught there by Osborne. He's still on his feet. Touchdown, Vikings! K.J. Osborne, 37 yards. And the Vikings have got it back to within a score.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
Extra point splits the uprights, and they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit, because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit, in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left.
Hey, ram.
On 2nd down, here's Herbert. He's got it to Williams. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Now he's loose at the 40. And he's going to be out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. 137 yards rushing for him, as he has been tough to stop here this first half. He went over 100 yards a week ago, and with that run, he does it again.
He's an absolute horse, a guy that eats carries. And what I mean by that, the more you hand it to him, the more the production you're going to get. A big-time performer.
And this time the yards won't come so easy, as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on.
Hey, count the Let's go.
Out of the gun, Herbert. Allen has it, left side. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. Now Herbert going to change the look. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. And now they'll shift things around. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And this is incomplete. Oh, that looked like a sure 6 points, but he could not get that to stick, and that is a golden opportunity wasted there.
And this was a little bit of the knock on him coming out of college. Sometimes the concentration can wander a bit. This should have been a big play, but somehow he's not able to corral it.
And this one is right through. And the lead works its way up to 10, 24-14. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result had he opted for the touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it down by 2 scores. Cousins trying to get his guys up to the line of scrimmage quickly. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. On play action, Cousins. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this one is incomplete. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man
adjustments being
Jonathan
made in the locker room.
Sports
We're just about ready for the second half
Coach.
from Minneapolis. And for the call, let's rejoin Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, That'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Here's Herbert. It's complete to Williams. Finding space at the 40. As they finally wrangle him in at the 48. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Ray.
A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA, with a sack.
And the Vikings were really looking for a boost to their pass rush, and they targeted Marcus Davenport in free agency. And right now, after plays like that, looks like a win-win for both sides.
Here's Herbert now on 2nd down. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. They'll send the big tight end in motion right.
Go.
Herbert. Eluding the pressure right. Finds Johnston. And some room to work. Room to maneuver at the 35. And he'll finally be taken down at the 18. A big play there on the catch and run. 35 yards.
We spent a lot of time talking about what's going on the field. How about off the field with the evaluation? And they spent a lot of time saying, we've got to get a rookie in here who has big playability. And that's exactly what we're seeing here early in his career.
Drafted him in the spring. Here he is early in the fall making an impact. They go back to the ground now with Eckler. Tackle there by Lewis Cine.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game. So he's really made his presence felt in this one.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Go. 59.
Herbert just beat the play clock. It's caught on the right side. Williams. And the Chargers are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. And it appears we have a Charger shaken up on that last play. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Eckler will take this into the end zone for a Charger touchdown.
Well, this offensive line has really stepped up to the challenge here, because those Mastodons, they've been sensational clearing holes all game long. And this is great work down here near the goal line to give their back the space he needs to work his way into the end zone.
Dicker down to tack on the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. Oh, and one of the linebackers has got it. And they're going to get the football just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you. 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away. Tuck it away because you've got to take care of the ball.
Home to strike. Hey, ram. Go.
Now Herbert following the turnover. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
Justin Herbert looking to throw on second down. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. On 4th down, Herbert. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. Gerald Everett from 6 yards away. And the Chargers' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. So they're able to capitalize there on the short field, and that might prove to be the score that turns out the lights.
The party's over. Oh, sorry about that. That's an old reference there, folks. But, yeah, they've been the better of the 2 teams by far, and that's great complimentary football right there. Defense gets the turnover, sets up the short field, and the offense goes right out and scores to open up a pretty sizable lead.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Here's Madison getting it again on second. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Here's Madison running on first down, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Cousins to throw it. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
Well, let's see how the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11. They'll indeed go for it. It's Cousins. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Herbert off of play action. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
Go. 12. Go.
Herbert now. Steps away to his left. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on 2nd down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for it first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
5-9. Crowd right.
Gonna throw on 3rd down with Herbert. Over the middle, and it's caught. Keenan Allen. And he'll be stopped here well short of the 1st down at the 24-yard line. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And the attempt at 3 will have to come from the other end of the field as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And we'll begin it with a field goal try here. He connected on his first, this from 41. And his kick here is good. So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And he takes it all the way across the 40 before going out of bounds.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. And he goes out of bounds, it looks like right at the 50. So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Good route here.
Cousins now from the 50. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by J.C. Jackson. And the Chargers are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Well, just another reason to celebrate there on the defensive side with the interception, and this is a game that they clearly have firmly in their grasp.
Yeah, a lot of handshakes, a lot of hugs, a lot of smiles. It's been their day.
Line.
After the turnover, here's Herbert. Fighting through pressure, escaping the pressure right. And Herbert going to slide to a stop, and he has a 1st down. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
I like how he hung in there and went through his progressions, but eventually his internal clock went off and told him it was time to make a run for it, and he ends up sliding down with a solid gain.
Baylor Tiger.
They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 159 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Brendan, every great running backs coach that I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
Back to throw here, Herbert. Toward the pylon, caught. Touchdown. Austin Eckler. His third touchdown of the game, 10th on the year. And the Chargers look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
This has obviously been a bad loss, but one of the few things they can still do is try and throw the ball all the way to the end zone and get some points on the board
so they're not shut out over the final 2 quarters of this game.
He's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
Looks again for T.J. Hockenson, and he's got him again. On the move past the 40. And finally taken down at the 34. It's another first down as they look his way again, this time 19 yards. Now, fourth quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one,
they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. And this offense on third down today, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. To the air again, it's Cousins. And he's got his tight end, Oliver. Touchdown, Vikings. Josh Oliver, 29 yards. And the Vikings get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open. He has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead drops from 34 down to 27. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, we've reached the stage where it's a mere formality at this point. They've got the comfortable lead. We know what the outcome is going to be. I guess the only question is, do they want to put more points on the board before the final gun?
Well, I certainly hope not, and I'm being selfish here because you and I have flights to catch. Let's go ahead and finish this one off, guys. You've taken care of business. Let's close it out, and you and I, let's get to the airport. Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. On the give, this is Eckler. And he's got room down the left sideline. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 195 yards rushing for him now on the afternoon as he just continues to pummel this defense. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's Herbert. Flushed out right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. And they're going to speed things up here. That's out wide for Palmer. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Herbert wants to throw it on 3rd and 1. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And you wonder now if he might be able to remove the helmet, put on the baseball cap, and watch the rest of this one from the sideline. His 5th touchdown pass of the game.
Say that again. Did you say 5th touchdown pass of the game?
Yes, sir.
But that's a heck of a performance, isn't it? Because they've had no answer for him at all game long. Receivers have been open constantly, and he hasn't missed a single one of them.
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice.
And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. Picked off by Michael Davis. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Let's go, let's go. 59, 59. Ready.
They're going to pass here with Herbert. That's complete to Palmer. And a loose football. But a Chargers player was able to fall on it, and they'll keep possession. And quickly, they get to the line.
Home to right. Hey, ram. Let's go.
Herbert setting up to throw on first down. That's again complete to Palmer. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Home to right.
Herbert. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
To the air again, Herbert. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line.
Lewis Seen
In there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for L.A., they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they'll get another road date next week. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers.